It's been quite a few months since I started refurbishing laptops on a mass scale at the new shop. As you can see, that's just a little bit of the laptops that we have, and we have a lot more out in the warehouse room. Now, I'm running into an issue. Right now, my bottleneck is the cloning station, because I can only clone 7 NVMe's at once. And we have a ton of mini PCs that Lupe is working on in here.
Dude, this is a scorcher in here.
I don't
man.
care, pick it up. I haven't forgiven you since what you did last week. Lupe, don't leave yet.
There we go. Hey man, make us some freaking water.
That guy's doing just fine without water.
The dead guy?
I'll give you a little break. In 2 hours. These are the rest of the laptops I have. All these guys. So I need to clone NVMe's for all of these. So I had no choice but to upgrade my hardware. So I bought a Threadripper. That's right. I spent an arm and a leg to buy hardware that I needed. Fine, put a shirt on, you can help me record. Here. So currently, we can only clone 7 NVMe's at a time. This is because we are limited by how many lanes we have. So we have an i7-13700K, it only has 20 lanes, which is not enough to clone as many NVMe's as we need. Whereas my Threadripper has 128 lanes. It's quite a difference.
It's not that much.
It's not that much. Lupe's used to all the lanes. When Lupe goes bowling, he takes up all the lanes. He has 3 arms. So that's obviously a bottleneck. And the reason that we clone NVMe's, and I know you're gonna say, oh, the PXE, you can use PXE, whatever. I don't have the infrastructure right now for a network to do that. If you want to come build me a network that is capable of doing PXE images onto hundreds of computers or whatever at a time, feel free to be my guest. With this new setup, we can clone 28 to 32 drives at one time using NVMe speeds, which usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. That's 28 to 30 computers in 5 to 10 minutes. Significantly faster than what we're doing here. We can do about 7 drives. It takes about 5 minutes. Unless we use adapters. So we can put NVMe's in these guys, and we can essentially turn one USB port, one USB-C port into NVMe. But we can only turn it, we're very limited on how many ports we have. And that's why I have
the Anker Prime DL7400 docking station, and its job is to take a single measly USB-C port and convert it into a triple monitor multi-USB workhorse. As its name implies, it has the DL7400 chip, which allows it to power 3 monitors in high resolution at the same time, one 8K at 60Hz and 2 4K at 60Hz. It uses the DisplayLink solution, meaning it's compatible with most laptops and monitor devices on the market. With 4 USB-C ports, this beast is capable of delivering 160 watts of total power. The single rear USB-C port can deliver 140 watts to your laptop, and the front 3 are capable of providing up to 100 watts each while also supporting high-speed data transfer. It also has 3 USB-A ports in the back for your keyboard, mouse, and whatever else. All this is powered by a single cord, no external power supply needed. It has a screen on the front that tells you charging power and data transfer speed of each port, and you can use this cool little knob to scroll through the settings and customize it to your choosing. And if you want more smart features, you can download the Anker Dock Manager app. Even under full load, it stays cool thanks to its Active Shield 3.0 system. Cold air enters in the left and exhausts on the right. And you can keep an eye on the fan speed using the screen. The Anker Prime DL7400 is the ultimate docking station, so if you're looking to clean up your desk, check out the link in the description below and stay tuned for some sweet discounts coming soon.
To replace this cloning station, we're using this.
What is all that?
I have no idea. I'm just kidding. So this is the list of parts. I'm going to put it right here because I'm not going to spend 10 minutes reading out everything. But the way I'm doing it is a little different from everything you've ever seen. I don't know anybody who's done it this way, probably because nobody's as brain damaged as I am. So this motherboard, jeez, this is heavy. This motherboard has 7 PCIe slots. Each slot is going to take 4 NVMe's. So what does that add up to? 7, 14, 21, 28. Now you may wonder how this motherboard is going to take 28 NVMe's, NVMe to PCIe adapters. Now you may say, well, what the heck, why couldn't you do it on that one? These adapters don't require bifurcation. This is a special adapter that costs a lot of money that one of my subscribers bought me, shout out to you-know-who, whereas these ones, which are only like $30, do require bifurcation. So bifurcation is when you take one PCIe lane, it has 16 lanes, and it splits it 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, which means you can have 4 different drives recognized as individual drives. This card does that. Somehow, I don't know how, but it bifurcates itself, and it costs a lot of money because the i7-13700K can't bifurcate. This motherboard doesn't have bifurcation, the CPU doesn't have bifurcation, but the AMD Threadripper does have bifurcation. So we're gonna split every single one of those 7 PCIe lanes into 4. Now you may be saying to yourself, you're an idiot, why are you doing it this way? Because you're just gonna ruin the PCIe slots. I'm gonna have to take this, pop it out, pop it in every 5 minutes or whatever. It's gonna ruin the pins. But I thought of that. So I have PCIe extenders. Now the idea is that this is going to be plugged in to the motherboard, and then it's going to be hanging on. We're going to move this shelf. We're going to move the shelf to make it so it. Shit. Try that again. It goes in the other way. So we're going to do it like that. It's supported. That way it's not sliding down. Now, the pins on this, if they get worn, or when they get worn, it doesn't matter. I just have to replace a $30 PCI extender versus replacing the motherboard and the PCI slots. Genius. I know, sometimes my genius impresses even myself.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Yes, indeedy.
Now, it needs to be on a shelf like this because, obviously, it needs to hang. If I just plug it into those things and they're just gonna flop all over the place. I have enough flop in my life. I'm dealing with erectile dysfunction. So this way the amount of labor is decreased and the amount of productivity is increased because the batches I get of laptops, they're usually less than 50 laptops of like each model, and that's how we're gonna do it. Now, I'm gonna step back a second. If you haven't seen my previous video explaining how I actually clone these things. So we take a drive, a single drive, from a computer that we've already set up. So let's say we have a ThinkPad P14, that doesn't even exist, a ThinkPad T14. We load up Windows 11 on it. We make sure you don't need an account. It's a local account. We update all the drivers. We take that NVMe. We boot into Clonezilla on our cloning station, and we create an image of that NVMe, an image of the disk. And we save it to our 2 terabyte NVMe. We're gonna need a bigger NVMe eventually, but right now it's on a 2 terabyte NVMe. And then Clonezilla allows us to restore one image to multiple disks at once. And that's how we're gonna restore one image to 28 NVMEs in the span of 5 to 10 minutes. Now the star of the show is the Threadripper. This is the most expensive thing I've ever held in my life. Look at that bad boy. Feel how heavy that is. Don't touch me, man.
Don't touch.
Now for RAM, 2 8GB sticks in there. I don't need that much RAM. And I don't want this thing to take forever to boot because it needs to check the RAM before it boots. This isn't even ECC RAM, but that's it. So what we're gonna do is build it. That's enough history. All you guys are gonna skip to this part where we're actually building the thing. Let's take this bad boy apart. These are all the adapters. This is the big boy one. That's the one that is expensive. And this is the master drive. We have all our images on that drive. Oh, shout out to the guy that gave me this, by the way. Fish Drizzle. Shout out to Fish Drizzle. Thank you for this. Thank you for the power button board thing. Reset I/O panel, front I/O panel. Whatever the fuck that thing's called, dude. I don't know, but thank you for that. Now, will the motherboard fit in here? That's the question. So let's bring this over here. Better lighting. What? Do you think that's why the computer kept shutting off?
Maybe. Could be shorting itself out.
So the cloning station was shutting itself off for about 2 weeks now, randomly. That's why. There was a screw on the motherboard. This is why I don't hire people. Can I have a job? No! And with the power of editing, the motherboard comes right out. All right, so this motherboard's gonna go in. I don't even know if this is gonna fit in there, actually. I didn't even test this beforehand. Oh boy. We're a little short. You know, this thing's a little short, but no problems, because we don't need these mounts, hopefully. I'm very scared. This is a lot of money. And if I mess this up, I'm gonna have to start. I'm not gonna say what I have to do, but I am very scared to work on this without installing the CPU first, because the last thing I wanna do is drop a screw on these pins. That's all my money gone, all my sweet money gone. So that means I need to, okay, how do I don't even know how to, I'm too poor to know how to install a Threadripper. So we're gonna go on the internet and we're gonna figure out how to install a Threadripper. Greatest technicians ever lived.
a Threadripper before or have used a Threadripper, it's very different than your
very
AM5
sultry
socket. It's
video.
very different. Insert into the socket right here. First and foremost, it says.
I'm gonna watch this alone.
And when you close it with screws number 1, 2, and 3. Ta-da.
Oh, all right, well, thanks to that sultry micro center tech man, I know how to install the Threadripper. So there's a few screws that you have to do in order. So there's 3 screws. You have to go 3, 2, 1 to open it, and then 1, 2, 3 to close it. So that's 3, 2, 1. Here it is. Now, is there like, this guy said there's supposed to be like a thing. Push down. Oh, okay, it lifts up. Oh God, this is so, I'm literally sweating right now. I'm sweating. Where's our arrow? Where's our arrow? Oh God, I should have looked at that before I did all this. Okay, that's the arrow. So this bad boy slides into there. Do you see that, Lupe?
Yes.
Jesus, this is so scary. Make sure that fits. Okay, that fits tight. Are we in?
Sound like it's in.
Sound like, oh, no. We're in. Woo! That was spooky. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna screw it in order. There we go. Whew. Wow.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Dude. What do we do after we install CPU, Lupe?
Thermal paste you have to put on now.
Yeah. Lupe, what goes on after thermal paste?
A fucking CPU cooler.
So this is the list of parts.
It's one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life. Right up there with a high school dance where I'm gonna try to use a Peerless Assassin to cool a Threadripper. Oh Lord. Okay, so I have a new heatsink coming Monday. I can't believe I didn't even think of a heatsink when I bought this thing. It completely, everybody here, no one thought of a heatsink. We're all clearly brain damaged from the music that they're playing downstairs. All right, PSU is hooked up. We have the front panel hooked up. I have the fans installed on the thermal right Peerless Assassin. And this is gonna be the most embarrassing moment of my life, but I'm gonna put thermal paste on the Threadripper. All right, let's hope that's enough. And of course, we peel this off. That's the sound of a million server administrators screaming in pain. Feels like it's on, it's making contact. And now, oh God, tiny raccoon-like finger time. CPU fan, get in there. Look at that, this is why they pay me the big bucks, baby. These puppies right here. It's rotating, it's moving by itself. This is gonna work great. And for the GPU, we have this old ASUS GPU that I sliced my thumb on a few years ago. And we're gonna put that all the way at the top. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put that right here. Does this GPU work? Who knows? Keyboard and a mouse. I'm sweating again. All right, baby boys, moment of truth. Will it work? Okay, maybe my grounding system wasn't so good. I think I need to tighten the grounding screw a little more. Okay, moment of actual truth. Power's on, I have light on the motherboard.
Oh,
Oh, we have a beepy.
"20 minutes later."
It didn't work. I have a feeling this video card did not survive the trip from Subway to here. The trip from Subway to here when we moved. So I'm going to try a different GPU. We haven't confirmed that this GPU worked after we moved it from Subway, because that's what we have to do. With everything that we brought over, we have to confirm it works after we brought it back from Subway. Or after we moved it from Subway. Hold on, Lupe, hold on. You told me this GPU worked.
It worked.
It worked. Mm-hmm. You know, I vaguely remember, Lupe, this video card we took out of the other Alienware because it was fucked up. I'm gonna have to use the other GPU that requires a power supply. I didn't want to use the other one because it requires power, and I'm running a 1,000-watt power supply, which I'm pushing it. This CPU takes up like 200 something watts on full load, which we're not gonna load it fully, but I don't want to risk it with the wattage here. So we're gonna put in this guy. At least we got post, dude. At least we got a message. If we can get it to actually function, I'll be very happy. I didn't think this through, guys. I didn't think this through very well. I had the idea, the execution was a little rushed. Content doesn't wait. The algorithm is always begging, barking. Okay, even my head shrank during that few minutes. Okay, let's try it this time. Give me that beautiful beep. ASUS. Yes. Yes! All right, we want to enter BIOS. Delete F2. Delete F2. Okay, immediately I just want to go to the temperature. That's the only thing I care about right now, is what the temperature is on this poor thing. Hardware monitor, yes, hardware monitor. Here we go. CPU temp, 48 degrees. That is impressive. 48 degrees Celsius. Only the greatest technician that's ever lived could cool a Threadripper with a Thermalright. Shout out to Thermalright, sponsor me for this one. You can cool a Threadripper with this bad boy. But real talk, I have the Peerless Assassin in my computer, and so does Lupe. So.
Yes. You're bottlenecking, bro.
Why do you have an AIO with RGB, man? I'm a fan of air. I like air. I enjoy breathing, and I think my computer enjoys breathing too. I need to somehow enable bifurcation so I can split all these PCIe slots. Okay, here we go. My heatsink arrived. Now, I actually did test, I booted Windows a few minutes ago, and I tested to see if it was throttling. And it wasn't throttling under normal usage, which was very impressive. So this little Thermalright Peerless Assassin, I think it was the 120, actually cooled a Threadripper when it wasn't doing work. As soon as I pressed the stress test, it throttled itself. But I think it's still impressive. Thankfully, I didn't put mounts on this thing, so now we can just... So our thermal paste did a good job. Shout out to AMEC. Our Shark Dick cooler. Now you may say, hey, are you gonna replace the thermal paste? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna add more thermal paste. Do that. Okay, that's enough thermal paste. Perfect thermal paste job. That will get them talking. Increase the engagement. Comments, hate comments. The paste police must be riled up. Time to plop. Hopefully I did the mounts right. Oh, it feels okay. Now plug in the fans. And I am curious how loud this thing is gonna be. Yeah, be good. So airflow's this way. Airflow's that way. So hopefully the coldish air will come in through here, go through, through there. Again, I'm not worried about heat. The CPU is barely gonna be utilized, so. Power. Yep, airflow's good. Not too loud. Doesn't sound that bad. All right, so we're in Linux. Linux works. I'm in a chair that is much too large for me. My feet don't even touch the ground. So we're gonna shut it down and we're gonna move it. Now you're gonna ask, where are we gonna move it? This is it. So this is gonna be the cloning shelf, if that's a word for it. So the motherboard's gonna go here, power supply's gonna go back there. So we gotta move this bad boy. And it's not light. Oh boy, this is sketchy.
Flex those muscles.
You like that? Huh? Oh, that hurts. Oh yeah, let's do that holding a $2,000 server. Oh, you gotta thrust, lean with it, thrust with it. We're gonna put the power supply back here because we want to keep it away from all the nonsense that's going on. This is why we did everything right here. All these PCIe slots. This is why I did everything that I did. So the idea, guys, this is the only time I will ever be touching this. I will never be plugging those in again. See how messed up everything is? It's not gonna stay like that. If you come in close, you can see how they're stacked exactly. So they're not shorting out anything, and the PCB, mind you, is not conductive, so if it touches an NVMe, the end of the world is not going to happen. Rapture Jesus is not gonna happen. Okay, we ready? Now I wanna check for lights on all of them. All right, we have lights on all, which is good. I like lights.
You think they'd be cheaping downstairs and making shirts?
Probably. Storage device problems. The storage device SK Hynix BC501 NVMe 3 is likely to fail soon. So the smart status, holy crap, the smart status just flagged one of these NVMEs as bad. Of course it's a SK Hynix, man. Okay, so 8310A. Let's look for, okay, this is gonna be fun. Which one of these is failing then?
One eternity later.
Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? SK Hynix, HP part number. The two worst partners in the world. You have SK Hynix and HP. So I'm just gonna swap that drive out. It does see all the drives, which is good. The next step is to see if it'll clone all the images at once. Okay, we're back. New drives in. So let's go to device image, because that's what we're gonna do. Local devices, that's also what we're gonna do. Press enter, and now we should see 19 drives.
Holy Tolodi.
I wonder why it was taking so long. So this is our image. That is our image. And now it's probably gonna take a while to find all the disks and all that garbage, and we're gonna just restore that image to the disks. And I'm really curious how long it's going to take to actually clone. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 disks. So yes, we do one more time, yes. And now this is the moment of truth, because now we can see what the speeds are gonna be like and whether we're gonna run into any errors, which I don't think we will. Oh no.
To the advertisement?
No, Plasma. Linux doesn't have ads, you poor soul. Plasma Shell closed unexpectedly. I don't care about Plasma Shell right now. It's giving us a quote of 5 minutes though. Well, this one's 10 minutes. It looks like it worked. So in about 12 minutes, we were able to clone 18 drives. That's much faster than what we were doing before. So it was about 5 to 10 minutes, we could do 7 drives. So not a bad trade-off. The thing is, the more drives you add, the slower the transfer speed is gonna go. We're not in a rush, and who cares, right? We can max this thing out to quite a lot of drives.
Now the biggest question is, how much did this all cost? Well, here's the price breakdown. I saved a ton of money because I got the CPU and motherboard used off eBay, and the GPU I used came from my old store computer. But less than $2 grand to be able to clone 31 drives at once is an insane deal, especially considering an NVMe duplicator goes for over 10 times that. And I'm still messing around with finding a setup to clone even more at once.
But I'm happy. I think this was a successful mission. If you've made it this far in the video, then you're typing out the longest rage comment. I understand that, but we're making do with what we have right now. The amount of time it would take us to load a PXE image onto 24 laptops at once or whatever is going to be more time than doing it this way. So I have no regrets. Maybe in the future when we have better infrastructure, we'll switch to something else. But for now, also, how long does it take with PXE? How long do you actually have to wait to load the image, to push the image to the computer and all that stuff? And can you set it up with an offline account with all the drivers already installed, no internet and all that stuff? Just let me know. Thank you for watching though, I appreciate you. This video was more technical than the rest, so hopefully people watch it. If not, whatever, I'll lose money. I'm losing money anyways. Trying to save the planet.
All right, Captain Planet.
Now you may ask, what the f am I watching right now? Badger milk is a delicacy. Milk of your mother. Milk of magnesia. Fish oil.